Good evening, everybody. This is African Sports Guy, live after the match, the travesty of a match that is the Manchester United versus Bournemouth game. Actually, the game wasn't a bad game at all. It was actually pretty exciting. First half was frustrating because Manchester United really weren't really working as hard as the Bournemouth players were working. You can see the difference between the two coaches. And to be honest, in the first half, Man United created all the chances, of course, but were very, very susceptible on the counter. But the thing that I really want to talk about really is the fact that the the poor refereeing. In fact, I would say cheating rather than actual anything else. Absolute cheating. Okay, so the match was 0-0 at halftime. Nothing much had happened. Second half, right? Second half, we get the game becomes a bit more exciting. The first goal was a penalty attempt, was a penalty awarded to Cunha after it was brought down, rightfully so, in the penalty box, right? No complaints there. It was an obvious penalty. VAR checked it, and it was a penalty. You look at the second, then another penalty is not given to Ahmad. Ahmad was clearly brought down in the box when he was about to score. It was clear as daylight. I have no idea. I can understand maybe the referee bottling it, right? Because he had given the earlier penalty. He given the earlier penalty, so I can understand him making a mistake. But VAR, what are you there for? What are you there for, VAR? What is the actual point of VAR if you keep on screwing Manchester United from points? It's not the first time it's happened, by the way. I remember the first game of the season against Arsenal. Obvious penalty against Cunha again. Obvious penalty. It was not given. How many apologies have we received from this refereeing committee? What is happening with VAR? I mean, they see these things. Ahmad, the player, wasn't even going for the ball. He literally hacked Ahmad around the neck and brought him down. It's as obvious a penalty as you're ever going to see. And it's not given. It's not given, right? Then from there, Bournemouth go up the pitch and they score a goal, which they shouldn't have scored in the first place. Because if that penalty had been given, it would have been 2-0 for Manchester United, game over. Manchester United was robbed of 3 points once again. And I'm just so tired of the commentary, man. I mean, one of the reasons why I started this channel was because of the obvious bias you get from English commentators. Pure bias, right? Because Harry Maguire gives away a penalty, right? In the 80th minute or something like that. In the 80th minute, he gives away a penalty. You can argue, is it a penalty, is it not a penalty? But if you take in consideration the earlier penalty that was not given to Ahmad, then it's obvious this was not a penalty at all, right? Because Harry Maguire even had a lighter touch. He just really brushed him, right? And then that was given as a penalty. If you're gonna give that as a penalty, fine, fair enough. He brought the guy down in the box. The guy was on goal. Fine. But what about the Ahmad one? What's your excuse then? VAR. If you're going to be, why is it one rule for another team, a different rule for Manchester United? Whenever a player gets breathed on from Bournemouth, he goes down. It's a foul. Yellow cards are given. It's dead. But Manchester United, you literally have to take out a gun and shoot. You have to shoot the player. Otherwise, what's the point of having? I mean, it's ridiculous. And I'm just tired of this, man. What is the actual point of watching football if they're just going to cheat? The standard of refereeing is awful. I mean, just last week, the referee forgot that he gave the Leeds player a yellow. He forgot. This is a professional, by the way. A professional. He literally forgot that he gave the other guy a yellow card and then set off the Leeds player. How many penalties have we been denied over the season? How many penalties, bruv? How many fouls? How many red cards, bruv? How many points would we have had right now if the referees had actually just been fair? It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And it always seems to go against Manchester United. I think there's a conspiracy. Here's my theory as to why this is happening. I think for the longest time, you had Alex Ferguson putting pressure on the referees. And for sure, he did put pressure on the referees. He was very, he was shouting. He was very, very demonstrative. He didn't give the referees a chance to chill, right? It's very obvious. And I think now it's an organized cabal of referees that are led by Howard Webb, by the way, just to get revenge against Manchester United. I remember the penalty, one of the penalties, right? There was a Liverpool fan on Sky Sports, and he was like to the referee, to Dermot Gallagher, whatever his name is, who comes on Sky Sports, does a ref watch thing. He said to the referee, surely this is a penalty. I'm a Liverpool fan. I hate Manchester United. But even for me, this is a blatant penalty. You know what Dermot Gallagher said? I don't know. For me, it's not really a penalty. I'm not really sure. It's not enough. Like, what's enough? Do you have to break the guy's legs for you to get a penalty for Manchester United? I mean, it's ridiculous. Getting one penalty should not negate the fact that you should get another. And fine, the referee didn't want to give another penalty. But then be bloody consistent. Be consistent. It's not right. We pay a lot of money. I don't know about anyone else along the world, but it's expensive, right, to sign up to watch these games. And if they're just going to rob the team, if Manchester United loses, fair and square. If they lose, I have no qualms about it. The first half, I was screaming at the television screen. I was very upset with the performance of Manchester United. The amount of walking in this game was disgusting. The amount of times Kobe Mainoo the guy just ran past Kobe Mainoo, and he is the guy who ends up shooting on target. It's ridiculous. I love Kobe Mainoo. He's very good in terms of tactical, keeping the game flowing and everything. But he has two major flaws. One, he can't pass the ball more than 5 or 10 meters. He always has to do like those neat little passes. He can't pass it out to the wing or distribute it out. He really can't, right? Second, he's really lazy when it comes to defending. Only when he's required to, when he's really, really pushed to, or like when he went down to 10 men, did you see him actually running around the pitch and actually defending? But in the first half, very little. And it was awful. Michael Carrick, what's his role in this? I think this game, again, demonstrates why Michael Carrick really needs to go and coach maybe other teams. Maybe go and coach a Fulham or a Crystal Palace or a Nottingham Forest, something along those lines. Go and coach those teams, right? And work out the kinks, right? Work out the kinks, and then you can go forward. Because there's two things he did which were terrible in this game. The first thing he did, right, was when that red card was coming, right? Bournemouth were attacking through just one avenue, through the center. Because Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro was on a yellow card, so he couldn't really be too assertive. So the Bournemouth players were just running at him. But Kobe Mainoo was MIA in the middle of the pitch. If you look at the first goal we considered, it was through the middle of the pitch. Kobe Mainoo was playing left back, for goodness sake. What is he doing there? You had Cunha, who was playing central midfield, who was playing the number 6 role. So it clearly shows a lack of organization, a lack of thought process. And by the way, it wasn't a surprise. It was, they just kept on attacking through the middle. And Carrick just was standing there with his hands in his pocket, looking all circumspect, instead of doing something about it. If you are in a position of leadership, you need to make decisions. Right or wrong, make decisions, right? And I can live with those. If Carrick does something, he makes a decision, it goes wrong, fine, but at least he's made a decision. But to be so passive and just stand there instead of line, just looking and hoping that Bruno does something, instead of actually making a tactical change that affects the game. At this level, really, at the top level, right, managers make decisions that change the course of games. The top managers have got balls to make a move. Carrick was just standing there doing nothing. The second thing he did wrong was he put no pressure on the referee. No pressure on the referee. No pressure on the referee. All he was doing was just smiling, just standing there, then just looking all scowled and stuff. He doesn't put any pressure on the referee. So referees are free to do whatever they want, whatever grievance, whatever false move they want to do against Manchester United, they're free to do it. It's ridiculous. I thought the only cheating was in CAF, but it seems to me that even in the Premiership, I mean, the standard of refereeing is really, really poor. It really takes away from the spectacle that we love of the game that we love so much. We love this game so much, right? And it's so annoying that all these things are affected by refereeing decisions. The referee didn't know what he was doing in this game. Didn't know what he was doing. Effectively, we're playing with 10.5 men because he gave Casemiro a bogus yellow card so early on in the match. So Casemiro was out of it already. And then you think of the penalty that Ahmad should have gotten. It was such a blatant penalty. Blatant, as obvious as it always be. Cheating. And it's disgusting because this is not the first time it's happened against Manchester United. It happens all the time. I mentioned the Arsenal one. And even Liverpool fans, on Sky Sports were saying that it's a ridiculous decisions. And Doma McGallagher, oh, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't know. It's not enough for me. I mean, what's enough? Should we get like a missile to come and bomb Ahmad, and then finally you can say that it's actually a penalty? I think it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look, the game itself is still a point to the draw kings, which are Bournemouth. They draw with everybody. I mean, they beat Liverpool. So it's not like a terrible result for us. I think that it would have been great for us because at least it would have been 6 points ahead of Aston Villa and then 9 points away from Chelsea and Liverpool if they drop points because they've got Champions League football in the week, right? So you're anticipating that they're going to drop points this weekend. One of them is going to drop points and it would have really consolidated our position in the top 3. It would only be 4 points behind Man City as well, right? With a chance to actually go and catch Man City. So, it wasn't a bad point, but it really another missed opportunity. And it seems Manchester United seem to always miss these opportunities. Away at Newcastle, away at Bournemouth, we always seem to miss these opportunities. And Carrick is doing nothing to assuage this sort of way of the way the pattern is happening. The refereeing is just so poor, right? You're right. The referee is from CAF. I thought CAF was the one that was corrupt, right? It seems that even in England we have corrupt referees. I mean, what is VAR's job? Can somebody tell me what does VAR do? That Ahmad penalty. Has there ever been a more blatant penalty in your life that you saw than the one that Ahmad was not given, right? It was so obvious. And I can understand the referee being scared or bottling it, right? But what about VAR? What's VAR's job, right? What's VAR's actual job? If it's just to agree with the referee, then why do we have VAR? Why do we have it? Why do we even have it if it's just to agree with the referee? I mean, this was pathetic. Pathetic. It's blatant cheating. There's obviously an agenda against Manchester United. They're getting their revenge against Sir Alex. I don't know what's going to happen. I think we need a manager who is going to put the referee on the front page. That's the only way we'll turn the stuff around. If the referee is not put on the front page tomorrow, right, because the coach got sent off or multiple players got sent off, something along those lines, there has to be fear instilled in these guys that you can't just abuse Manchester United and get away with it, right? But because Carrick says nothing, he does nothing, he just stands there with his hands in his pocket, right? Doesn't shout at the referee, doesn't shout at the fourth official, he doesn't do anything. None of his staff. Where wasn't one of his staff sent off with this blatant cheating? You can't just stand there with your hands in your pocket looking like a gentleman. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And this is the result of it. Referees are now emboldened to make rubbish decisions against us, right? Because they know that we will do nothing. And VAR, I mean, come on, man. I can understand the Harry Maguire red card and the penalty. I understand it. But in light of the first decision, you can't not give Ahmad's penalty and then give Maguire's penalty. It's impossible. In the same game, that's rubbish. That is blatant cheating. It's completely unfair. It's unjustified. If Man United is going to lose, let them lose. Let them lose, man. We pay so much money to watch this game. It's so unfair, man. And then the commentator was like, I think the referee got it. I don't think he got too much wrong there. I don't think he got too much wrong. Are you blind, bruh? Are you actually blind? Are we watching the same game here? I don't understand it, man. These commentators are obviously biased. Where is the Martin Tylers of this world? The dignified people who actually used to go into commentary with neutral positions. These guys that are obviously fans of the opposition team that just want to see Manchester United lose because they were so pissed off because of how Alex Ferguson used to win all the time. And now they're so whipped that Manchester United is not doing very well right now, right? It's just really, really disgusting, this level of refereeing that we are encountering in the Premiership. It's really, really poor refereeing. And I don't understand the excuse. It is the biggest league on earth, the richest league on earth. It really is the richest league on earth. They don't even know what to do with their money. So much so that when you get relegated, they give you more money. When you get relegated, they've got so much money. Why can't they get VAR correct? VAR works everywhere else on earth, except of course in Morocco. But it works anywhere else besides Morocco. It works well, right? VAR works well everywhere else on earth. It's only in the English Premier League that it doesn't work. Why? Why is it only England that doesn't get things right? Why only England? Why only England? You go to Italy, you go to Spain, you go to Germany, you go to France. They don't have these same problems, do they? Do you ever see these problems at the World Cup? No, you don't. Do you see these problems at the Euros? No, you do not. Why is it only? Why is it only? Why is it only here in the English Premier League? Deirdre says, ref is a disgrace. It ruins the game watching the bias. The only reason he didn't give the second penalty was because he had already given the one before. It's like a quota on penalties per team. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. The ref bottled it, right? He definitely bottled it. He gave the first penalty, which was an obvious penalty, right? The second penalty, you could see he was thinking about it. He was standing there going, should I give it? Should I give it? He was a coward. He was a coward. He was afraid, right? Fine. The referee makes a mistake. We are all human beings. We make mistakes. Where is VAR? Where is VAR? That's why you were invented, right? If VAR is just going to agree with the ref, then what is the point of VAR? Tell me, what's the point of it? What is the point of it? Man, I'm really disappointed in the way that the referees have determined this game. They gave Casemiro a yellow card too early, unresolved, and that destroyed our midfield completely, right? Actually, Ugarte, when he came on, actually didn't look bad, right? Casemiro really didn't have a good game. Casemiro should be subbed way early. Again, Carrick, coward. He couldn't make decisive decisions when it mattered. It was obvious. We were sitting here in our lounge. I was watching with my brother, sitting here in the lounge, and we were just calling out, look through the middle. Look what's happening through the middle. Look what's happening through the middle. And Carrick made nobody, just his hands in his pocket. Just looking, just doing nothing. I mean, come on, man. Anyway, I think this is a missed opportunity for Manchester United. We really should have gotten the 3 points. It really is disappointing, right? Jonathan says, bro, the way he was acting like he was watching closely, ref was trying to get He looked that way, didn't it? It looked, because the way he was like on his knees, like watching like this, and then he didn't make a decision. It was ridiculous. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and say this. I'm going live again tomorrow at 9:30. Please come to that. I'll be with Quinton, right? We'll be doing a live thing. But I mean, the referee cheating is too blatant, it's too obvious. The richest league on earth, and they can't get refereeing correct. They can't get VAR correct. I mean, the excuse they give is that there's not enough referees, and so they have to get referees from the championship to come in and adjudicate, right? VAR. And of course, if you're getting junior referees from the championship or the lower leagues, they're going to be too scared to make any decisions against the actual Premiership referee. It is pathetic. I think that Manchester United were robbed. They will do nothing about it, right? They'll do nothing about it because it's got a board that's inept, and the manager is too much of a gentleman. He won't even say anything. I was surprised by Bruno, actually. I thought he was going to be more put up more for protest. He was actually waving players away. Why wave them away? I would have had them swarm the referee right there and there. I mean, it's really poor, man. I'm just really disappointed in the standard of refereeing in the Premiership. Is really poor. So I won't say much more in terms of the game itself, right? The first half was Manchester United's really half. They created all the chances. I mean, Bournemouth had 1 or 2 chances, but nothing too critical. I mean, the first chance when the winger really should have gone for goal, but he didn't even pull back. He just crossed the balls. But otherwise, Ahmad should have scored. Bruno should have scored. There were so many chances, right? And so it was a really, first half we should have scored so many goals. Second half we got the penalty from Cunha, very good play by him. I mean, he is a godsend. I mean, I love Matheus Cunha, really. I love that guy, man. Bruno puts away the penalty. Good goal, right? We should have then gotten a second penalty, should have been 2-0 up, but instead the referee didn't give the penalty, and then Man United were busy complaining about the missed penalty and let the Bournemouth team go score right through the middle, by the way, right? We then get back in the lead through an own goal from Bournemouth, really a Harry Maguire pressure, right? Those typical corners where the referee, where the keeper is being pressured, but so be it. We take advantage of the rules that they are at the moment, right? And so we score. We were now ahead in the lead, right? But then Bournemouth now attack. They mount another attack, right? They're attacking, but they're attacking through the middle. We are crying out. I'm really crying out to the TV. Look, Michael Carrick, they seem to be attacking through just one avenue, through the middle. Casemiro's on a yellow card. He really can't be aggressive. Mainu is on a walkabout. For some reason, he just doesn't want to play through he doesn't want to defend through the middle. He only started defending when we got the red card. So it was inevitable that the red card was coming, right? The penalty, that the goal was coming through the middle. I mean, the guys hit the post, for goodness sake. So nothing happened there. Carrick just had his hands in his pocket. We then get the cheating of a penalty, right? Because considering Ahmad was denied a penalty, then that shouldn't have been a penalty at all. They should have been the same rules for both teams. But then that 2-2 was 2-2. After that, really we defended well. He finally made the proper subs, bringing on Mount, bringing on Sheshko, bringing on Ugarte, right? And actually making a proper sub. And so we were able to solve something from the game. Carrick doesn't have game management skills. He's not ready for the job. So true. He's not really ready. He really needs to go to other teams. So I'm going live again tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Central African time. Please see me then. I'll give a more in-depth analysis of the game. We'll look at the games coming in the weekend. We'll have some predictions for you there. I'll have a guest for you as well. And so please join me live tomorrow, 9:30. I'm signing off. This is African Sports Guy, wondering what is happening with the refereeing standards in England. Why the cheating? Why can't teams just beat Man United fair and square?